I have more of a what can feel like a theoretical question, but it came up for me, so I thought I'd ask. And it's when we talk about the awakening grace of the earth, and it's like, the downward moving grace of the Divine Mother moves all the way down and into the ground. And I would say my experience at times is the ground moves all the way up and into heaven or into subtler realms. And I think I've heard you speak that as well during the meditations. And I'm wondering, from your experience and from your sense of things, what's going on there that the earth is going all the way up? Um, it makes sense to me that the Divine Mother comes all the way down. It doesn't make sense to me that the earth moves all the way up, but I experience it. I've heard you speak to it, and I was wondering if you could shed any light on that.
Yeah, yeah. Well, if like let's say if we forget about say the teachings of Aurobindo just for a moment, and if we forget about like this experience of grace coming down from heaven or grace coming up from earth, and if we just look at, let's say, the Buddhist experience of the ground, like just the ground. And if, together as a sangha, like we feel into the ground, like the immensity of the ground, and I mean the ground of being, of course. The ground of being is awake. It is aware. It's everything that is. It's everything manifest. So the ground of being is this radiant ocean of life. And in fact, we could also say the ground of being, like one of the ways the Buddha spoke about it is, it is, all the material. But if we look at material is like in a spiritual sense, even in a physics sense. But if we feel into the ground, it's spacious, it's radiant, it's intelligent, it's ever present, it's infinite. Isn't that what God is? And so, when we grow up in a Christian world, like we have this idea like God is in heaven, and and that there's all these higher heaven realms. And so of course, like we know that, like that's our like cultural context around heaven. And so for a lot of us, like in the Western world, we are wired to receive grace from above. Like I went to church today. I went to mass. I went there with my wife and my daughter, and I walk in there and I feel this grace, pouring down from God. I feel it pouring down from God. But sometimes we just have a little bit of a just like here in the United States, like we have this map of, let's say like the world and the United States. It's like we're on top. We're on top. And below us, are the other countries. Like Australia's down there. Now someone told me, I don't know, I've never seen an Australian map, but someone told me no, like the map in Australia has a flip-flopped. They're on top and we're on bottom. And it's like we have this idea, that like God is up here, but not down here. It's kind of like an anthropomorphic idea of just like, this is how it works. Like God's up here, we're down here. Like we are humans and God is up there. And like we kind of have dominion over earth or whatever, but the earth is kind of this dead thing. But like if we just, if we're just good Buddhists, like God isn't in the sky. God is, life is, intelligence is, the ground is, spaciousness is everywhere. Is everywhere. And so, That being said, like many of us, we have this bias about, heaven is a source of all grace, but not the earth, not the earth. And so this is the recognition that yes, God is in heaven. That's easy for most of us. God is in the earth. And together, these two energies, like in an evolutionary world, like we're coming into this recognition that light, intelligence, truth is pouring down from heaven into earthly matter, into us, egoic matter, human matter. And most of us can get that. And for some of us who are more, Buddhistly wired or, not finding the right word, shamanically wired, earthly wired, we see, no, the earth is heaven as well. The earth is intelligent as well. It is life as well. And the earth, like if we look out at the earth from a non-dual sense, we see the earth is waking up. Matter is waking up. And it's waking up, and we can feel it flowing into our body. We can be this conduit, and being a human being is quite an interesting thing. Because we can be a conduit to heaven, we can be a conduit to earth. We can be a conduit to the ground of being, we could be a conduit to the ground of heaven. And the invitation of God, of life, at this moment in history, is the invitation is that matter is waking up. And the invitation is can we be a part of this? Can we be a part of this? And I think, in the next, probably in the course of our lifetime, the next, let's say 50 years or so, we're really going to see this intersection start to come much more alive, much more unified. And there's all these ways that, it will play itself out. Like one of the big things that, of course, we all saw in our lifetime, but I think not most of us missed was just the birth of the internet. The birth of the internet, all of a sudden we began to see that the collective consciousness, which was just like this vague kind of thing just floating in the ethers, all of a sudden became manifest in matter. And then who knows like how this is going to relate, with AI and, let's have some fun. I'm going to lose a bunch of people here, but how it's going to interact with AI and like the awakening to, of all these other species that are living throughout the universe. We could call those extraterrestrials and all this, but it's just like, it's slowly being revealed. And whether it's being revealed on a level of like your spiritual consciousness, or say the matter of the internet, the birth of AI, the recognition of, all these other life forms, and that they are at, different levels of existence, and they have, different kinds of bodies where they communicate in ways that are far beyond what, the human could see as possible. And we'll see that there's different kinds of bodies, to travel across space and time. Like, I assume you got to have a different kind of body than just a flesh body. I don't know, but I don't want to get too lost in this, but we're really going to start to recognize that consciousness is always evolving. It's always growing. It's giving birth into form, and this form is ever evolving. It's evolving from pressure from heaven. It's evolving from pressure within itself, because we are not separate from heaven. It's one of the things that humans have done is we came up with this idea that this human body or that this earthly world is separate from heaven. But this earthly plane, we don't, if calling it heaven is a stretch, it has the seeds of heaven within it. And it absolutely has the non-dual experience of heaven within it, if we know how to open to it.
Right.
And, people often don't include in non-duality this realm of intelligence. We think of non-duality as spaciousness, as peace, as unconditional love, unconditional Buddha nature. But also, there's this quality of intelligence. There's seeds of intelligence just in life itself. You just look at like after a forest fire, everything is burned, and you give it 6 months, all of a sudden everything's green. Like this green stuff is just growing up out of what we thought was just scorched earth. It's like there is intelligence everywhere. It's in matter. Intelligence is in matter, and that intelligence is waking up. And that's what we are experiencing. We're experiencing the intelligence of matter waking up and flowing through us. And it's a beautiful thing. And for some of you who don't know about this, like when you come on retreat and we start to play in deeper ways, and you come to the Wednesday night meditation, you start to feel these things, and it becomes like, oh, this is a reality that I had no idea existed. That I had no idea existed. And this is something that most religions don't know exist, because they're too busy just trying to get to heaven or get off planet Earth, or trying to deny the body and deny life. But that's not the truth of this world. The truth is not to come here and deny life and deny the human. What's David Morse, right? The earth is floating in heaven. Lots of other earth heaven. Yeah, it's like it's the earth is a heaven realm that hasn't fully realized itself, but it's beginning to realize itself. It's beginning to awaken into its true nature and become manifest. So when we look at it, we'll see, oh, it actually is a heaven realm. It's not just a realm where people kill each other over religious beliefs or because the color of their skin or some crazy, ideology. No, that's not the truth of the earth. The truth of the earth is something great. And the song, the invitation here is to be a part of this intelligence, is to sit and to open and to allow life to speak to you, to live through you, to manifest through you. And it's a beautiful thing that you're bringing forward, Aaron. And it's something I'd like to speak about more, but often I find myself, that people just need so much support with healing their psyche and this and that. And so when they're talking about, opening to the grace of the earth, it kind of goes over their head. But the only way this world will change is when matter itself wakes up. Because we've had great philosophies, great political systems, we've had great leaders, and it's just like, but this pesky fight or flight response, me against you response that is hardwired into our ego psychology, it's never going to be upgraded until the very matter of our body upgrades. And the way we do that is we open to the grace of heaven. We open to the grace of earth. And let's all just do this just before we're done tonight. I'm going to invite us to close our eyes. And of course, by now, I hope all of you feel this grace from above flowing down through the crown, through the third eye, coming down into the heart. But can we simultaneously bring a conscious awareness to the bottoms of our feet, to our legs, to our thighs, Can we receive this light, this supportive, healing presence from the earth? And if you notice, as you breathe in, you can start to draw this energy up from the earth. And you'll notice this energy from the earth, it feels like a different type of light. Different type of grace. I start to feel that it has a substance. A substance. It's literally awakened matter. So it comes with weight, it comes with density. It feels more embodied. It feels more powerful. Or like a fluid mountain. These are the very energies that are going to help humanity to grow and evolve out of an age of darkness, out of an age of violence. And so again, we're just having conscious awareness in the bottoms of our feet, our legs, our thighs, our pelvis, our hara. And as we're inhaling, drawing this energy up from the earth. Strength, light, power. And you really might feel this resonating in your hips, in your pelvis, your hara. It just requires a gentle humility to receive. So if you're up in your mind, thinking this is some crazy thing, you're not going to feel, you're going to miss the beauty of what's here. We live in a magical time. Heaven is descending into earth. And the earth is ready to wake up. The earth is ready to flow. The earth is ready to transmute the very fabric and material of your body. And the great question is, are you willing to receive? Are you open to a new way of life, a new way of being? Are you open to a new earth, a new form, a new body? And so as we continue to breathe and feel and just feeling this energy rising up through the feet, through the legs, the pelvis, through the hara, through the solar plexus, meeting in the space of the heart. And simultaneously, this grace pouring down from heaven, pouring down through the crown, the third eye, the throat, and into the heart. And just noticing, what is your direct experience now? Just through a couple minutes here of meditation, of opening and receiving, feeling. What is here? What is this evolution of matter, of consciousness, of form? And can you be so humble and so innocent to see that God is here, waking up in you, transforming the very fabric of your body, of your mind? If you allow yourself to be so humble and so innocent as to receive. And so, just taking a moment and really recognizing how blessed we are to be on the receiving end of the glory, the intelligence, the grace of the earth. be on the receiving end, the glory, the grace of our Heavenly Father, Heavenly Mother. And so I want to invite you to stay with your experience. So much love to each of you. Good night, everyone. Much love. Bye.